What's up, college football fanatics? Are you ready for the most complete analysis you'll find about this explosive matchup between Alabama and Wisconsin? If you want to know all the details, stats, and keys to victory that nobody else is talking about, stick with me until the end, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because this preview is going to be unmissable. What's going on, everyone? Here we are with another episode of the Alabama Football Report, and today we're breaking everything down, doing a complete preview of this Alabama versus Wisconsin Week 3 matchup. The Crimson Tide is opening as a 21-point favorite in this game, from what I saw, and I hope they can go out there and do the same thing they did against Louisiana Monroe. The total is at 46.5 points, and this is an 11 a.m. Central Time kickoff for Alabama, so they got to wake up early and get ready. Because the game is also going to be on ABC, I want to hear from you guys in the comments section of today's show. What's your confidence level in the Crimson Tide taking on Wisconsin this weekend? Tell me what you guys think on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you have zero faith in this team, and 10 you think they're going to go out there and put up another 70 spot on Wisconsin. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of today's video. Some Alabama injuries that we need to monitor as the week goes on. Ryan Williams, as of right now, he's day-to-day with a concussion. Still, Kalen Nebor not really giving us much information on him yesterday. Jam Miller and Tim Keenan. They continue to say that there's a possibility they're going to be able to play in this game versus Wisconsin. Jamarian Lamb surprised me a little bit that he wasn't able to go against Louisiana Monroe, but they kept him out of that game, so as of right now, he's still day-to-day. And the only one that's definitely going to be out is going to be Jeremiah Beeman. Unfortunately, we're going to miss him for the entirety of the 2025 season. When it comes to Wisconsin, though, the biggest injury to monitor for them is going to be their quarterback. Their starting quarterback at the beginning of the season was named Billy Edwards Jr., and he ended up spraining his left knee in Week 1. And Luke Fickell yesterday, during his press conference, wasn't really ready to say he's good to go, but he also wasn't ready to say that he's not going to be good to go for this game. He said he's throwing the ball around and constantly doing treatment and things like that. So not ready to totally rule him out, but also not ready to say that he's going to be able to play. Danny O'Neal was the backup quarterback that came in for Wisconsin, and he got sacked 3 times in that game in the first game of the season for Wisconsin. He is a transfer from San Diego State and also has thrown a couple touchdowns so far this season. So hopefully Alabama can go out there and force some turnovers, because getting to the quarterback is going to be a massive point of emphasis this week from Kane Wommack's defense. Wisconsin's first 2 games here, and when you look at that score, against Middle Tennessee, it looks better than what it actually was. First game of the season, they beat Miami of Ohio 17-0. Then they beat Middle Tennessee 42-10. Against Miami of Ohio, though they were only up 3-0 at halftime, and then they go on to score a couple more touchdowns in the second half. There, against Middle Tennessee, they were only up 14-10 at halftime. So starting fast in an 11 a.m. kickoff is going to be a big key for the Crimson Tide this week. Tonight, I want to hear from you guys at the pinned comment of today's show, the most comments so far on a regular video here on the channel in the month of September is 142. I want to crush that here on today's video, so who you got in this one? Type A for Alabama or W for Wisconsin. I want to get at least 150 A's. Spam it down at the pinned comment of today's video. The 2 quarterbacks for Wisconsin, Danny O'Neal and Billy Edwards Jr., you can see their stats from the couple games here. Danny O'Neal played in both games. Billy Edwards obviously went out after like 20-some snaps in that first game for Wisconsin. There's one thing Danny O'Neal has done. He is very accurate with 71% completion percentage, already over 400 yards, has 2 touchdowns, 4 passing touchdowns, and then 1 rushing touchdown as well. You can see what he did there against Middle Tennessee. Went 23 for 27 in that ball game, but like I keep saying, does have that interception. 1 interception in the first 2 games of the season. A couple of playmakers for Wisconsin at the receiving and tight end spot as well. Vinny Anthony right now is their number 1 wide receiver with 8 catches, 107 yards. He's averaging over 13 yards per catch. Tight end, Lance Mason has 102 yards on the season and a touchdown. Jaden Ballard also 5 catches for 100 yards. And then Trench Kakahuna. He's a younger guy, 6 catches, 42 yards for him. Of note, by the way, He does have some yards on the ground. He's got 3 carries for 68 yards. He had a 61-yard touchdown run against Middle Tennessee. It was 14-10 in the third quarter with about 7:40 to go in the third quarter. And he kind of took an end around. It wasn't really a true end around. It's kind of a legitimate misdirection. The entire offensive line kind of went left, and then quarterback goes left, like they're doing some kind of quarterback option there, and he comes around just like a reverse and goes 61 yards to the house. So that kind of turned that game around. For Wisconsin, this year they're trying to rush the football more. They are trying to do more on the ground. Dylan Jones right now is their lead back. He's a sophomore running back for them. In the 2 games played 24 carries, 109 yards, and 4.5 yards per carry. So same thing as last week kind of. Alabama really, their defensive line has got to come up big, especially some of those younger guys. We saw London Simmons have a really good game. I'm interested to see too. I thought Keon Keeley had a really good game there at the end of that ULM game. I wonder if that will lead to more stats for him. We'll continue with some keys to victory here in just a second. But today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. I personally use Prize Picks for so many different types of sporting events, whether it's professional football, baseball, basketball, college sports, MMA, boxing, and so much more. Prize Picks is a ton of fun, and if you guys know ball, you can win real money. All season long on Prize Picks. This is what we got cooked up for 2 games coming up this weekend in professional football. Green Bay versus the Commanders. Tara McLaren going with 1 touchdown for him. Just needs more than half a touchdown. I think that's probably going to happen for one of the better players on that Commanders team. And then this one right here. The max discount for Travis Kelce, his original stat projection, 47.5 receiving yards. He only needs now half a receiving yard. So going with more on that, and make sure you get those max discounts into your Prize Picks lineups every single opportunity that you guys get. Prize Picks is super simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money today. Prize Pick is also the best way to get action on sports in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And yes, Prize Pick is also available in Alabama as well. So, download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's promo code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That link is going to be down at the pinned comment of today's show, and it's also going to be in the description of today's show as well. It's Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Let's get into some keys to victory now for Alabama versus Wisconsin. It's an 11 a.m. kickoff, so Alabama has got to get up early and they have got to start fast. You should be more fired up about this game than you were last week. Against ULM, you have got to be able to bring that intensity to games that aren't necessarily against teams that you know you're going to go out there and absolutely dominate. Kind of the narrative right now is that this team only gets up for some of those smaller opponents. I want Alabama to be able to go out there. I want them to get up early, and I want them to just bring the punch to them. I want them to hit first. I don't know about you, but I am a massive UFC fan, and one thing I hear all the time is be the first one to punch the other guy. Because if you're punching them in the mouth, first that is just setting the tone, and that's something that Alabama has kind of struggled at, is setting the tone. I need them to go out there. I need them to start fast in this 11 a.m. kickoff game. Come join us for our Alabama versus Wisconsin party. We are going to be going live at 10 a.m. Central Time. It's going to be an early one for us as well, but we're going to bring the heat. We're going to bring the energy for you guys as well. We are doing that Alabama jersey raffle for the entire month of September, so if you guys want an opportunity to get in on that Alabama jersey raffle, come join us for our watch party. Hit that sub button. Key to victory number 2 here. We got to be able to turn some of these pressures that we're getting on quarterbacks into actual sacks. It was an issue last year, and it's starting to kind of become an issue this year as well. You look at Danny O'Neal and what he has done passing so far in the first 2 games of the season. One thing that Wisconsin's doing a very good job of is getting the football out of his hands fast. Average time to throw. These are from PFF by the way, Pro Football Focus, 2.72 seconds the average time to throw. So he's getting that snap, and he's getting the ball out of his hands very fast, and not allowing opposing defenses to get to him very quickly. The average depth of throw, though, is only 6.5 yards, so they are going with some of those quick routes. So they're getting the ball out of their hands quickly, and there's going to be a lot of those short routes. Can the DBs, can the linebackers especially lock up those guys, whether it's the running backs coming out of the backfield, or the guy in the slot, or the tight ends? Can they be able to lock those guys up to allow that defensive line to allow that pass rush to be able to get to him? They've got to do a better job at tackling too. Bray Heward and Justin Jefferson right now, two of your big-time starters, lead the team in missed tackles after 2 games. Most of them did come in that Florida State game. Both of those guys have 4 missed tackles each. Deontay Lawson also has 3 missed tackles. So it's fine if you go out there and you're allowing those quick little slants to be caught, but you've got to be able to get those guys on the ground. You cannot allow those extra guys to get those extra yards after the catch. Alabama pressure-wise, they have been able to get a lot of pressures on the quarterback. You see here, LT Overton 4 pressures so far, leading this Alabama team. 0 sacks. Keon Keeley 3 pressures in that game the other day. 0 sacks. John Pierre 0 sacks. They are getting back there. They're just not able to finish. So far in the first 2 games, 21 pressures for this Crimson Tide team. They only have 1 sack. That 1 sack came from Keon Sabb in that Florida State game, and Kane Womack even talked about this yesterday at his press conference, kind of saying what the problem has been over the past 2 years. He's saying, honestly, you've got to be able to have guys that finish, and right now we are not doing that. We are not doing that well enough. I think angles are a huge piece of that, and I think closing space on a quarterback is a huge indicator of having success. We can flush them out of the pocket, but we're not doing nearly enough, or a good enough job of getting the quarterback to the ground. We had 12 tackles for loss in the game the other day with no sacks. I don't know if that has ever happened, at least in my experience. We've got to do a better job. We've got to find a better way to get the quarterback on the ground, at least in terms of what we're doing schematically. I need to help our guys out in that regard as well. So will Alabama have any sacks against Wisconsin? Like I said, they get the ball out really quick. So it's up to those linebackers, it's up to those cornerbacks and safeties to be able to lock those guys down, so the pressure can get there. So I want to hear from you guys. Will Alabama have a sack against Wisconsin? Type Y for yes or N for no, down in the comments. Last one, key to victory number 3 here, like I just said. Linebackers in coverage. Alabama's linebackers have struggled in pass coverage at times against that Florida State team. They looked slow, they looked indecisive, and a lot of that had to do with the different looks that Florida State was giving them, whether it was the pre-snap stuff or whatever. But these guys have got to step up, and they have got to help this defensive line. Here, you can see here, this is per PFF as well, Danny O'Neill's passing depth chart. You see right there in the middle of the field, in anything less than 10 yards, they are loading that up for him. They are getting the ball out quick. You see there, from the line of scrimmage to 10 yards, they are 10 of 10 with 122 yards and a touchdown. You see there, 0 to 10 yards on the right side of the field are 6 for 6. On the left side of the field, they are 4 for 5 in that front, and then 10 to 20, right in the middle of the field, they are 3 for 3. So right there, where those linebackers are going to be playing, Alabama's linebackers have got to help out this defensive line, be able to get to the quarterback, and hopefully Alabama can get a couple of sacks this week against Wisconsin. So what do you guys think about this complete analysis of the Alabama versus Wisconsin matchup? Do you agree with the keys to victory that I presented? Leave in the comments what your confidence level is for this game on a scale of 1 to 10. And don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this detailed preview. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because we always bring the most complete college football analysis, and don't miss our live watch party at 10 a.m. to watch this big game together with us.